It was past midnight when the lights of the mansion dimmed, and silence wrapped the marble halls like a blanket. But in the corner of the vast kitchen, behind the giant stainless steel refrigerator, a faint sound broke the stillness. Someone was crying softly. When millionaire Daniel Grayson opened the door to check, he froze. There, sitting on the cold floor, his maid Maria was eating leftover scraps from the dinner plates. Hiding, trembling, ashamed. And that night, everything Daniel thought he knew about life, about kindness, and about people, was about to change forever. Daniel Grayson was not an ordinary man. By 42, he had built one of the largest real estate empires in the city. His name was whispered in boardrooms. His mansion sprawled across the hills, and every room in his home gleamed with luxury. But with all his wealth, Daniel lived alone. His parents had passed early. His marriage had ended in heartbreak. And though he smiled for the cameras, inside, there was only emptiness echoing through golden halls. Maria had joined the mansion staff 2 months earlier. Quiet, polite, and always on time, she never complained, never asked for anything extra. She worked longer hours than anyone else, and yet she always greeted Daniel with a soft, tired smile. He had noticed her silence, but never questioned it. After all, she was just one of many who worked for him. Or so he thought. That night, after returning late from a business gala, Daniel went to the kitchen for a drink. The mansion was silent, except for the soft clatter of utensils. Curious, he turned the corner and froze. Maria sat crouched near the pantry, a plate of cold leftovers in her hands. Mashed potatoes, a small piece of chicken, and some bread crusts. She was eating fast, as if afraid someone might catch her. When Daniel's shadow fell over her, she gasped, eyes wide with fear, dropping the fork. "Sir, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, I'll clean it up." But Daniel's voice was gentle. "Maria, why are you hiding to eat? Didn't I tell the staff to take their meals from the kitchen?" Tears welled in her eyes. She shook her head. "We are not allowed to eat what's left from the main table, sir. The head butler said those go to the trash." He frowned. "Trash? These are perfectly good meals." Maria lowered her eyes. "I didn't want to steal, sir. But I haven't eaten since morning. My daughter's medicine took all my money this week." Daniel's chest tightened. He didn't know she had a child. He didn't know she was starving. He had been surrounded by fine food, silk sheets, and expensive wine, while the people working under his roof suffered in silence. That night, after she ran away in tears, Daniel couldn't sleep. He walked through the empty halls, haunted by the image of her hiding behind the refrigerator, trembling like someone caught committing a crime, when all she wanted was a meal. By morning, he called for the butler and questioned him. The man stammered, admitting that he'd been strict about food rules to maintain discipline. Daniel fired him on the spot. But something deeper stirred in Daniel's heart. It wasn't just about the rules. It was about him. How had he become so blind to the pain around him? The next day, Daniel called Maria to his study. She walked in nervously, eyes red and swollen. She thought she was about to be fired. Instead, Daniel offered her a seat, and a warm breakfast tray sat waiting on the desk. "Eat," he said softly. "Please." She hesitated. "Sir, I can't." "Maria," he interrupted. "No one in my home should go hungry. Ever." As she began to eat quietly, Daniel asked about her life. At first, she hesitated. But his calm eyes made her speak. She told him about her little daughter, Anna. 6 years old, sick with a heart condition. Her husband had left years ago, and she worked any job she could to pay for medicine. Sometimes, when the hospital bills came, she went hungry so Anna could eat. Tears rolled down Daniel's face silently. He thought of his own mother, a kind woman who had once worked as a cleaner to put food on their table. She had passed away before seeing his success, and now, sitting before him was another mother doing the same. Fighting quietly, painfully, for her child. That day, Daniel made a decision that would change both their lives. he drove Maria to the hospital himself, where he met Anna, a pale little girl with the brightest eyes. When Anna smiled shyly and whispered, "Are you the man from Mommy's work?" Daniel's heart melted. He paid for Anna's treatment, set up a small trust fund in her name, and offered Maria a new role, not as a maid, but as a household manager with a fair salary, full health care, and weekends off. Maria wept uncontrollably, unable to believe what she was hearing. "Sir, why are you doing this?" Daniel looked out the window and said quietly, "Because someone once helped me when I had nothing. It's time I remember what it means to be human." In the following months, the mansion changed. Daniel started eating meals with the staff once a week. He funded an education program for workers' children, and he began visiting hospitals and orphanages anonymously. His empire no longer just built buildings. It built lives. But perhaps the most beautiful moment came a year later, when little Anna, now healthy and smiling, handed Daniel a handmade card that said, "Thank you for feeding my mommy's heart." Daniel smiled, tears in his eyes, realizing that sometimes the greatest wealth isn't in money or mansions. It's in the love we give to others when no one's watching. When life gives us abundance, it's not to build walls, it's to open doors. Because sometimes, one act of kindness can feed more than an empty stomach. It can feed a starving soul.